Hello campers, welcome back to the Casual Car Camper. I'm your host Brian, and today's episode might be a little stressful, might not be for the faint of heart. It's definitely going to be intense. That's right, after talking about cooking and hammocks and where to buy stuff, we're finally talking about where are you going to sleep? Where are you going to eat? Where are you going to change? There are three main types of categories in my book of tents. You have your screen tents for eating. You have your privacy tents for changing or showering. Those come in various different shapes and sizes. You can sometimes get them just for shade, like for the beach, or if you want something for near the fire that you can put over, and if it starts raining, you're still covered. You can get something like that. And then you have your sleeping tents. Sleeping tents have many different variety. All right, according to the website Trek Baron, there are 25 different categories of sleeping tents. I'm going to talk about the 5 main types. This is going to be the ridge style tent, also known as the A-frame tent. This is a very simple tent. You'll see this a lot in Wild West movies, frontier movies. It's that like the picture shows here, where you just basically have a tarp, 3 poles, some guy lines to hold it down. They're not as commercially available as they used to be because there's other tents that have gotten more prominent, but they're kind of a good sleeping tent for backpacking because it is just some rope, tarp, and 3 poles. The downside about them is they're a little more difficult to set up. Again, they're not commercially available, so it's something you'd make yourself. They don't have any sort of zipper or bug mesh or anything, so they're just, I'd put them in either emergency use, because you can make them yourself and it'll hold up for a night or two, or as something light and simple and, good practice if you'd like to do that. If you'd like to see me make one, I can do that, but let's say 200 likes within a month of when this video drops. And I will do a video of me just building an A-frame tent from a tarp and some stuff I have laying around. Now the second type of tent is your dome tent. You're going to see a lot of people with these tents. I actually have 2 dome tents. One is for storage of my equipment. The other is my small sleeper tent. The advantage of these is you have zipper entrances. You have the mosquito netting so you can get cross breeze on a hot night. They're extremely common, easy to find. You can get your ground cover for them fairly easily, even if the model you have doesn't have one designed for it. They're so similar that you can buy a generic one and be fine. One thing I like about dome tents for myself is because I'm 6'3", it's hard to find a tent I can stand up in to change and do that sort of stuff. And the dome tents usually allow me to stand up. The one issue with them is because they're dome shaped is that you might lose a little room if you use a larger bed, if you're using like a blow-up bed or double-sized blow-up bed, if you have back problems or something, so that you're going to be inside, lose a little bit of space on the inside. The nice thing is if it's raining or you're getting high winds, because of the shape, the wind will go around and the rain will roll off. Most of them have a removable rain fly, so you can have that dry separately. So it's a good all-around tent. They come in various sizes, everything from a 1 person up to about a 6 or 8 person. Next is going to be cabin tents. Cabin tents, as the name suggests, are shaped like a cabin, but they're made out of cloth or nylon or whatever. They're usually larger than a dome tent, and especially a ridgeline tent. They usually have multiple rooms. I've had them with 2 or 3 rooms. They have a lot of space. They usually have 8 to 10 foot roof. So what's nice about those is if you're tall, you have plenty of room to stand up, change, whatever, and not having to worry about being crunched down in the tent. Also, because they're more square shaped, if you're using an air mattress, you can put it right against the walls. The issues with them is because of their size in rain or in high winds, it's like a sail. you're going to have that wind just hitting and pushing and rocking you. So you have to make sure that you have to put in stable and put your guidelines down and make sure that you have all of your tents. Now, the next is your tunnel tents. If you see them a large outdoorsy family, a tunnel tent might be the perfect option for you. They offer a ton of livable space, and they come in a variety of sizes, so there is likely a tent out there to accommodate even the largest families. They are made from a series of flexible poles that stretch from one side of the tent to the other, forming a half circle down the length of the tent, which creates a tunnel shape, which is how they got their name. Because they are so long, you're going to want to pay attention to how you have them facing and where you set them up, but that's even an issue with the cabin tents. So the issue with their shape is if you have the wind so it's coming across the front. The issue with their shape, if you have the wind coming across the sides, they could collapse because they're not as rigidly built as your cabin tents. But again, they're good for a large group. But the other issue with the tunnel tents is, again, because they're rounded on the sides, you're going to lose some space if you have a larger sleeping bag or sleeping mattress. But if you have something small, it'll go right up against the corners. That's one issue I've heard is, if you're if you have a double thick sleeping mattress, it's not going to fit. The last type of tent is the Bibi tent. The Bibi tent is designed for solo campers and hikers. They're lightweight. They're just big enough to fit a person in. If you're tall, they may not work for you. I've seen a lot of mid-sized people with Bibi tents, but I haven't seen ones that are like 6 feet long, 6.5 feet long. So if you're 6'3" and you like to stretch out, you might have issues with the Bibi tent. But otherwise, they're lightweight, great for people who want to go out into hiking, camping by themselves, and because it's basically a tent. A lot of the Bibi tents are a little raised up, so it's your bed, your tent, everything all in one. So that you don't have to bring anything else except for blankets. Okay, campers. So that is our episode about tents. I know this is seems shorter than my first two series, but I will have some follow-up videos with me trying out different tents, and you'll see me setting up this tent behind me and just having showing you the more intricate parts of tents. And like, this was just a quick overview. There are a lot of different types of tents. I will put the article that I used for a lot of my base information in so that you can look at all the different types. In that article, there were some tents that looked very similar to me. I would have classified them as the same, but the writer's choice was the writer's choice. I will warn you, there are sometimes that the writer used terminology I wouldn't, but I think they were trying to be funny, but it wasn't my type of humor. Okay, campers, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave a message down below. Remember, if you'd like to see me build an A-tent, like this video, share it with your friends, get them to like it, and you will see me build an A-frame tent out of basic stuff I have without buying one. And remember, as always, as long as you're having fun, you're doing camping right.